Well, I hope you had a good weekend.
Did you have a delightful weekend?
It's pretty good. You know, hopefully, obviously, last week was a stressful week for everyone. I feel like that's safe to say. I don't, whatever side you land on, but hopefully we are in a calming. I put my tree up.
Yeah, which makes everything better.
I think it's time for people to just slide into the holiday season, whether you're socially distanced or whatever. Just start getting festive, people. You know,
it brings a
start
joy.
celebrating the end of this year and start it now. I gave you permission.
Yeah.
And then look at it as a kind of a good thing, not a bad thing. I don't know. I'm not making any fun.
Are you a big Christmas person? I wouldn't peg you for a big Christmas person.
I used to be as a kid. I got away from it. Not necessarily. As a homeowner now, it's easier to get in the holiday spirit. Now, I put up my tree.
The whole thing?
The tree looks great. No, here's what I'm not going to. No.
Are you going to do the lights outside on those trees that you water every day?
I put up my tree now.
Okay.
It's early. I grant you that. And it looks fantastic in my living room. But that's it so far. And I think at most I might put some sort of Christmas acknowledgement outside my front house. I have pumpkins out right now so that I acknowledged Halloween and Thanksgiving. So after Thanksgiving, I might put up, I don't know, some sort of candy cane. I'm not going to go. You're not going to go
with the blow up like snowman.
I'm
that's
not
got
putting
like
lights around my outdoor. No.
You're not going to put lights on your trees that you like to water?
That's too much.
No.
I'll put something up. And inside, I might put like a garland of some, I don't know. But it's not going to be like Christmas threw up in my place. I have a vibe. I like the vibe. I'm keeping the vibe. So
classic Christmas.
Classic. Tasteful. My mom always did that. And I learned that from my mother. I don't want it to be a fucking, I don't want it to be a fucking,
like a Clark Griswold Christmas.
Yeah.
Is that what you're interested in?
Yeah, like an infomercial on Christmas. I'm not into that. We have a great episode for you. Some fantastic callers. Some great advice to those callers.
I mean, how honest do you want you to be?
We have some merch out there.
See what I did there? Called a segue.
We have some merch.
That was a segue.
Yes. Chrissy and her segues. How else do you want me to be? Wear this T-shirt to your boyfriend.
You should wear that T-shirt all the time, actually. It's so appropriate for you.
What else do you want me to be? We have some other great sayings. We have some breakup books. Check us out, viallfiles.com.
Yeah. Got
some cute tops.
Tote bags. Crop tops.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. Rate us 5 stars. If you're looking for more Bachelor content, there's an amazing Patreon out there. Sign up.
Patreon?
I do.
It's amazing.
And it is worth your time. A tell-all, if you will, from my time on the Bachelor franchise with some great guests, including all Maxes and more.
And you just did a new one from...
We're currently recapping Andy Dorfman's season.
Yeah, that's so cool. Fun.
It's fun. It's super inexpensive and cheap. Get it for yourself for the Christmas season.
Yes. It's a cup of... what are we moving on to? What's next after what's after a pumpkin latte? A peppermint latte?
Probably
something weird and crappy. Anyway.
Thanks for listening.
Question time with Nick. Let's ask Nick your sexy questions.
How's it going?
It's going. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
My name is Grace, and I'm 22.
Hi, Grace. How can I help?
Hi. Okay, so I am going to give a little backstory, and then we can get into it.
Great.
Very brief.
Great.
So I've been dating this guy for about a year. The first 4 months, we were long distance between Texas and California. And when quarantine hit, I moved in with him. I moved from Texas to California, and so now we live together. But 3 months into being long distance, he slept with his ex. And I just found out about it about a week ago from her.
Wait. So hold on. You started dating this guy.
Yeah.
You lived in Texas. He lived in California.
Mm-hmm.
Quarantine hit. You're like, fuck it. I'm going to go to California. You dated. It was seemingly going fine. And then his ex reached out and said, hey, by the way, this guy you're living with now, when you guys first started dating, we had sex.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
She is in our friend group.
Oh, you know her.
So I know her through him.
But so since you moved out to California, you've gotten to know his friends.
Yeah.
You've been part of this group. He's like, hey, these are my friends. You're like, great, I like your friends, and now I'm friends with your friends. And by the way, this girl is part of this group because they dated, and she was like, yeah, we definitely fucked.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much what happened. And she and I have hung out probably like 5 separate times.
Just the two of you?
Not the two of us, but like in our group. And she and I get along really well. And we were just chatting one night. And she was like, I have to tell you this. We slept together. You guys were like 3 months in. She wasn't sure if we were exclusive, but we were definitely exclusive. Or I thought we were. And I think that it was just the one time.
When you say you thought you were, what does that mean?
Like, we had established exclusivity.
You guys, the two of you, defined the relationship. So
we did.
So
it was
both
cheating.
were on the same page as far as you were concerned.
Yes.
You weren't just assuming without asking that you were exclusive. Okay.
Yeah. It was like established. Yeah. We were together.
Have you had a conversation with him so far?
Yes. So after I found out about it, we came home and I was like, hey, you slept with your ex in February. And he was like, no. Like, immediately denied. And I was like, you did because she told me. Don't lie to me about this. And he admitted to it. And then he is now frustrated. He's frustrated with the fact that I was even talking to her. And he's frustrated with the fact that, like, I asked if they had done anything since breaking up. And so now I guess my question is, what do I do? And like, if I stay with him, how do I not be a crazy, like, passive aggressive bitch? Because right now I've been like very just like, I'm not fun to be around with him because I would be really curious to
hear your reasons about why you should consider being with him.
Because I really love him and we're best friends and we can talk and talk and talk for hours.
High level generic things. Like, what tangible, specific things, knowing what you know now, would be why you would stay together with him?
He's a really good cook.
Okay. At least that's specific, you know.
I know. You said tangible. We have a lot of similar interests. We agree on a lot of really important, like, fundamental issues. And I thought I was going to marry him. And I think that he would be a really good father. I think that he would be a really good husband, aside from the cheating.
Well, let's get back in. Okay, let's dive into you think he'll be a really good husband based on good father, nice, great, cool, aligned with your beliefs in the world, nice, certainly, great. But none of those are like, you kind of described a friend. Like, those are nice things you want a friend too. I'm really concerned about the fact that, you know, would you describe a great husband as someone who lies, and then when caught in a lie, instead of owning up to the lie, makes you feel like you did something wrong? And then how would you rank that in terms of great husband qualities?
Doesn't sound like a very good husband.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is a really good caretaker.
For who?
And he loves me and he is.
How does he show that love? When it's bad. Is this your first?
When it's bad.
Is this your first problem?
Yeah, this is our first.
Have you ever fought before?
Really our first issue. We argue really well. We've never had like a big argument.
So when you say you argue really well, what have you argued about?
We have had disagreements on like where the bed should go in the bedroom, or like disagreements on what time we should do
not
things.
Important things that you both aren't super invested in, and at the end of the day you'll both get over. Okay, those aren't problems.
Okay,
so this is your first problem, and what I only mean by that is like every relationship is going to have problems, real problems, like hopefully that don't include cheating. And how people handle those problems and communicate those problems, where you have a real big difference, or you feel guilt or stress, and that is what really determines whether someone you think can make a good husband or wife. And so this is your first test. Where the bed goes isn't a test. That's just like neat. That's nice. You can agree on that with a lot of different guys.
You're right.
All right. So this is your first obstacle, and unfortunately, and like minus the fact that the obstacle is him having sex with another girl, that sucks. But let's just call that your first problem. Now let's just chalk it up to like something you could get over. Okay.
Yeah, I would love.
It's this handling of this problem that I'm really concerned about for you.
Yeah.
And as you are recognizing, you realize that if this is how this problem is going to be handled, then you're going to have no choice to turn into your worst version of yourself. And it would sound like I don't want to speak for you, but I feel like the little bit I've known you, which is in about 3 minutes, that you want to be married to someone who makes you the best version of yourself or helps you be that person.
That would be great.
As anyone would. And so right now, what you know is that you are considering being in a relationship with someone who, when a big problem happens, he does things that make you the worst version of yourself. He doesn't solve the problem. In fact, he extends the problem.
Yeah.
That's a concern.
Yeah. And
And no amount of cooking is going to change that.
Really good cooking. So I guess he wants me to get over it and
I'm sure he does.
And like go back to how we were before, because he's like, it was
is that
so
I mean like
long
that's
ago.
literally how he's chosen to handle this. And like you seem like a reasonable person. I don't know, maybe you've been and you would have a right to be, just to be a giant bitch when you found out and be super like. But like you sound like super chill about it. So like, are you telling me that you've been like, hey, listen, like she told me this, like let's talk about it, and he's been dismissive and been like, I don't want to talk about it, just get over it. Sure, it's true, but like whatever.
Kind of. Like I found out early on in the night, and I spent like 4 more hours hanging out with her, and then we got home, and then I was like, hey, you slept with her in February, and then he was like, why were you even talking to her? Why did you not talk to me about this earlier on in the night? And I was like, I would love to forgive you. I need you to talk to me about this so I can process it. And he just gets very upset when I bring it up. And it's been a week, and so I brought it up a few times.
As far as red flags go, there couldn't be a bigger one.
Fuck.
I could probably list. God. I mean, the fact that you want to forgive him.
I do.
You're giving him every opportunity to be awesome. In fact, he could be like, babe, you're like, I already know what you want him to do. He sits you down. He's like, first, I just want to say, I am sorry. I'm wrong. I have no excuses. What do you want to talk about? And what questions do you have? How can I build this trust back? Please forgive me. Do you want to, like, you're right. And all I can say is I was, I had a moment of weakness. We were still in our early stage. I don't know what you want him to say, but just the willingness on his part to talk with you and make you feel confident that he's willing to have a conversation.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not, though. Find things that help you deal with your stress level.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Best Fiends helps me.
Best Fiends helps you
deal with my stress. I don't know if you knew that about me, that I get stressed and then I deal with it by playing video games.
I didn't know that about
That also makes me smarter. And I also have, and I know Chrissy's just obsessed.
I do play it more than I should.
Chrissy loves it because of the cute characters.
Yeah.
I'm a little more invested in the brain games and the puzzles.
Have you always been a puzzle person?
I appreciate the cute characters, but stop wasting time on tweets and TikToks and Instagrams when you can be sharpening that mind of yours with Best Fiends. You can play it online, offline. You can compete with your friends. It's a ton of fun. It keeps you busy. It's better than, think of, when you're going to the bathroom, play.
Oh, yeah. When you're traveling this holiday season, you can use it without the Wi-Fi. So well. You can play with the little characters.
More levels, events, and challenges added all the time, so play away. There's always one more level. Seriously, once you download Best Fiends, boredom won't stand a chance. With over 100 million downloads, this 5-star rated mobile puzzle game is a must play. Download Best Fiends free on the Apple App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends. What's your favorite character name, Chrissy?
Brittle.
Huh. Fine.
He's got a long snout. He's cute. Totes. I give him the most food, so he grows the most. I call it food, even though it's just like corn.
Well, I'm more partial to Gene. If you're looking for the most coolest designer quality furniture at the most wonderful prices, Article has got you covered. Indoor, outdoor furniture, they have it all. They have a new collection.
It's new.
It's inspired by the sense of Wanderlust, which apparently is also a great movie.
It's a great movie.
Article's newest collection features a dark, refined palette that's accented by intricate wood grains and texture-woven pieces that speak to faraway travels.
Far away.
The result of a getaway space you'll love to keep coming home to.
That's kind of cool to make your house look like someplace you've been to.
So much furniture out there. You want things that look expensive, don't have to pay a lot for, but also then last. Because you can buy a lot of things that look expensive at first, and then a month later it turns to shit.
Yeah.
Like a cheap T-shirt.
But you know firsthand that that's not Article.
Article's last, baby. Article furniture. It is the highest of quality. They make the shopping experience easy. They ship it if you don't like it. They will return it. You exchange it. I don't know what that's like because I've loved everything I've gotten from Article, but they make it super easy. Fair prices. Save up to 30% over traditional retail prices. Article is able to keep their prices low by cutting out the middleman and selling directly to you. No showrooms, no salespeople, no retail markups. Fast, affordable shipping is always available across the U.S. and Canada and is free on orders over $999. All in-stock items are delivered in 2 weeks or less, which is, I tell you what,
big deal these days.
Big deal these days. Article is offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. Go to article.com/VIALL and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout. That's article.com/VIALL to get $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more. Now, couldn't be a better time to get some Article furniture.
He really, I don't know. Last night I brought it up again, and he was like, you're not, like, you being so miserable doesn't make me want to try to work on this. And I'm like,
that's what he said to you? This guy sucks. He sucks. You're dating someone who sucks.
Fuck.
I'm sorry.
No, I knew you were going to tell me this, and that's why I emailed you.
Trust your gut. I mean, listen, you're giving him every opportunity.
Oh, I'm so cool. I'm such a good girlfriend.
Stop, if you listen to this podcast, you're being the cool chick and it's hurting you. It's being the cool chick. And, oh, God, I mean, great guys want cool chicks. They do.
Right?
Right? And so, be the cool chick, but be a cool chick to someone who deserves it. Someone who, might make a mistake and fuck up. but is so appreciative that you're a cool chick, he's not going to take that for granted. Instead, he's gaslighting you. He's making you feel like this is how he's going to handle problems going forward. And you'll have another problem. I don't know, like a parenting problem, a money problem, a job problem. I don't fucking know.
God.
But this is how he handles it. He turns into a baby. He's mean. He makes you feel like you've done something wrong. He makes all his problems your problem. Makes you feel guilty about like being mad. Makes you question your sanity. All because like he can make a chicken nugget or something. I don't know. Like
he can make a chicken nugget. Maybe he can make a fry to go with it too.
I hope so. Oh fuck, damn it. He's also 30.
Oh my god! So he's not. He's like. It's not like he's. You know. Maybe he's gonna grow up. You said you're 22.
I'm 22.
Listen, no problem with the age difference, but the fact that he is. So what that tells me that he is not only he doesn't respect you. He doesn't respect your age. He thinks of you as like someone who's, you know, stupid and young or something. I don't know. He's condescending to like he's passive aggressively being condescending to you. And if he wants to date you, and quite frankly, you seem mature and reasonable and thoughtful and calm, and he sounds like the 22-year-old.
Yeah.
And it's not changing.
Oh, it's not going to change.
It's definitely not going to change. So do me a favor.
Okay.
From going forward. Ideally you break up with him. But in the meantime, stop telling yourself you love him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like you feel like you like the idea of him. You love him. Love it's constantly growing, it's changing, and then then it dies. Like you love the memory of him. You love his cooking. Mm-hmm. You love how sometimes you have fun together, but you need to focus on what you don't love about him right now.
Yeah.
And these like things that you like about him, those are all things you can have with so many people.
So many people.
Yeah. And in the meantime, like hook up with dudes who like you don't align with your beliefs. You're just not going to marry them. You'll have fun with them. Like you'll find you're 22. You have plenty of time. You didn't get this one right. Go have some fun.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll find a guy around the corner, and maybe it'll take you 4 years to find another guy. Either way, you're going to be totally fine. But don't get married to a guy who makes you feel like you did something wrong when he fucks someone else.
I really did feel like I did something wrong.
Yeah, well, he's good at what he does, and
he's really good.
That's his biggest skill.
That's scary.
Is making people he says he cares about feel bad.
Yeah.
That's what he's better at that than cooking.
Probably.
So, I'm sorry. Good thing is you knew, you wanted to hear it. Now I'm confirming it. I think you'll be fine.
Okay.
All right. Best of luck.
I
Break up with him. Block him. I mean, I'm serious. You should definitely like move out. Just like don't warn him. Don't just move out.
Okay.
Don't apologize. You did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm serious. Like, you should do things. You need to be drastic here. Don't ask for his permission to move out. Don't ask what he thinks. Don't pack your shit. Find out when he's gonna be gone for a long enough time for you to move out.
Yeah.
And do it. Probably feel really good and liberating.
Yeah.
You're not crazy.
Thank you.
Except unless you stay with him.
I'll keep you updated with what happens.
Yeah, let us know.
I'm a little concerned about you.
I'm a little concerned about me too. I'll let you know how it goes.
All right.
For sure.
Let's definitely move out right now.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. It's nice meeting you.
You too.
My name is Amanda. I'm 25.
Hi, Amanda. How can I help?
So my husband and I have been married for about 4 years now, and he's an amazing husband. He is super thoughtful. He's selfless. He's caring. He's a great husband all around. But my biggest point of contention in our relationship is that he goes to the bar every single night.
Every single night?
Every single night.
Okay.
And it's...
So wait, tell me how he's thought. Okay. All right. So he goes to the bars every night.
Pretty much every night.
That's not an exaggeration. That's like...
No, it's not. Like the nights that he's not home, like, I don't know, maybe one night a week or 2 nights a week.
What was he doing when quarantine first happened?
He was there. Yeah.
Every night.
Uh-huh.
Is he getting drunk every night?
So that's the thing. He's not getting wasted. He's got a very high tolerance.
But he's a heavy drinker.
I don't know. Because he starts drinking in the evening. It's not like he's drinking during the day.
Has he asked you to come to the bar ever? And you're
Yeah, I mean, I've gone with him. I know all of his friends over there, or sometimes I go there, but it's not really my scene. Like, I don't like...
So he's like, babe, I'm going to the bar. You are welcome to come, but also I'm going.
Oh, no, I can't. We have 2 kids, so I have to stay home with the kids every night.
Then he just goes to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
How old is he?
He's 37.
Okay. I'm assuming you've voiced your frustrations about this situation.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've communicated how I feel about the situation. Like,
and how do you go about that? And you're just like, babe, hey, listen, that's a lot.
Yeah. So in the first year of our marriage, I would say that I was much more passive aggressive about it and did not communicate it very well. It led to a lot of fights and because of how much it bothered me. But over time, I've learned, how to be more gentle and loving in my communication with him. But it seems like no matter how I do it, it doesn't make a difference.
You're staying at home. You want to get in shape. You want to stay in shape. You want to stay active, keep that cardio up. There's no better thing to do it than with an Echelon bike.
Yeah.
Why pay these outrageous prices for a Peloton when you can get an Echelon, have it just as high quality with the same type of classes, with the same fitness instructors? So stay in shape and get connected with all different types of equipment from Echelon: fitness bikes, fitness mirrors, rowing machines, and their all-new Stride Smart treadmill. No matter what your favorite fitness activity is, Echelon gives you fun and challenging workouts from the comfort of your home. The world-class instructors will motivate you with thousands of daily lives, on-demand studio-level classes always available when you need them. Unlike their competitors, Echelon is available for everyone, and one membership lets up to 5 family members all work out at the
Everyone
same time.
can get their fitness goals done. Look at that.
Deal. Everyone.
It's affordable, people.
Yeah.
Unlike
the other one. Go to echelon.com/VIALL. That is ECHELON. fit.com/VIALL. You try it at home for 30 days. If you don't like it, you send it back. That won't happen because you love it. What's he say?
His argument is like, he's an extrovert, so he needs this time with his friends, and he works hard all day, so he kind of like deserves this time. And
what do you deserve?
Exactly. I try to communicate this with him. Like, I need to spend quality time with you. You're my husband. We have 2 kids. Life is crazy. Like, be home with me. But it literally does not matter how I approach it. Like, it's not getting through to him, and I just don't know what to do about it anymore.
Are you willing to leave?
No, absolutely not. Like, divorce is off the table for me.
Why?
Because I love him and I'm committed to him.
Is he committed to you?
Absolutely, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, listen, it seems nuts to me that he goes to the bars every night and has no considerations for your feeling. I mean, listen, it sucks. I mean, I only ask because, like, if what you're saying, he's doing this extreme thing, and you are rightfully having an issue with it, and he's not acknowledging your frustration. He's just saying what he deserves, and if it doesn't change, like, how are you going to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're still really young. You've only been married for 4 years. it's rightfully frustrating. And
Yeah.
you're going to drive yourself crazy. I mean, my hope is like, you know, he's willing to hear you out. But and I don't have like, what can you do? Fuck, I don't know. Like, is he willing to come on here and have me and be like, bro, what the fuck?
No, I mean, we've been to counseling before, and
what do your therapists say?
I don't know, they kind of just like show him like, look, your wife has this issue and she's right to have this issue. Like, what do you have to say for yourself? What are you going to do about it? And he kind of in those instances feels like he's being ganged up on or being attacked. And I can tell when I express this to him, it comes off as, I'm assuming he thinks that I'm nagging him and I'm being like, you know, the nagging wife figure.
Again, we're dealing in extremes here. If your husband was like, babe, I just, 2 nights out of the week, I just need to let loose. Even that, most wives don't give that to their husbands, but you seem more than willing to be like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not against him having a life, but I agree, this is excessive. Like, he just doesn't get that.
So he goes to work.
Yeah.
And he goes straight to the bars? Does he even come home for 5 minutes?
So like, well, I don't know. It depends on the day, honestly. But most of the time he goes after the kids go to bed. So he's most of the time here while the kids are awake. But after that, when it would be ideal for us to have like quality time together,
he just goes to the bars.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I know.
I honestly think that, I'm not saying get divorced. I'm saying I think you need to put it on the table. And I just think you need to like start considering, like, and it doesn't mean you get divorced. I just think this is an extreme situation. You need to go, you're getting to the point where you have to consider the extreme solutions. And even just considering it as an option, because clearly he doesn't think you're ever going to leave him.
I have done that though.
Doing whatever the fuck he wants.
I've given him that ultimatum.
But you just told me it's not on the table. So clearly he doesn't believe you. And he shouldn't, because you've told me in confidence, that he's not here, that you're not going to leave him. It's a game of chicken. He's just like, all right, well, prove it to me. Haha, see, you're not going to. Leave me alone. I'm going to go to the bar.
I know, but like to him, this isn't even like something worthy of like an argument. Like he thinks his behavior is completely normal, and
that's insane, right? That would make him insane. So that means he's insanely selfish. He's
not though. I know I'm painting him out to be this way, but he really is like, honest to God. If you were to like see our relationship, like you would think that I'm the more selfish person in the relationship for how I act sometimes.
How? I'm open to believing this.
Okay. He's much more quick to show affection, to show love, he's always thinking of me first, except in this aspect. He's always thinking of me first and making sure I'm taken care of, I'm happy.
Give me an examples, because like those are like general statements, which may or may not be true. But you give a specific example of what he's not doing, and that is like, you know what I'm saying? That's a specific thing, and now you're speaking in general about like, right?
Every single day he tells me how much he loves me. He always tries to make sure that I'm comfortable and I'm happy. Like he always makes sure that I'm fed before he is. He kind of almost always adheres to what I want to do in situations. It's literally just this one aspect of life.
Well, that one aspect, again, I'm only just basing this on what you're telling me. That one aspect is every day.
Yeah.
So when are you getting your time?
We try to go on a date like once every week or once every 2 weeks, but
sometimes the bar gets in the way?
I mean, like what he'll say to that is like, we're together all the time because,
When?
we're working remotely and we're both in the house. So like we're together all the time. But
You
to
guys
me,
both work from home.
Yeah.
Okay. But you have jobs.
But we're not like spending quality time
when you guys have sex.
At nighttime, like when he comes home from the bar, he wants to have sex. And I'm like sitting there like, are you kidding me? Like, I'm going to sleep. Like, you were just gone for the last 3 hours and now you want to come home and have sex. Like,
he's a little buzzed.
Yeah. So that drives me crazy.
Yeah, seems reasonable. That would, I mean, again, I'm just, something isn't adding up here, right? And either and it's great that he says he loves you. Is he like texting you from the bar? I love you, babe. Thanks for, he sounds like he wants a very submissive housewife who's just happy to be fed and finds comfort in knowing that she's loved from afar while is willing to take care of his children.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm just basing this on what you're saying.
No, it's much more complex than that. Like, I know he loves me and I trust him and I do feel loved by him. It's just this one thing. Like, I feel like he's not showing me love in the way that I need it.
Yeah. Stop calling it just this one thing, like as if it's just some small minor detail that you're not even sure if you have the right to be mad about. This is an insane major thing that he is unwilling to be remotely flexible on. And stop letting him make you feel like you're wrong for being mad about it or you're being unreasonable. And again, if, you're just like, hey, go a couple times a week, fine. But like, I need you to want to spend more quality time with me.
Like, I feel like a broken record. I have said this to him so many times.
And that's what I'm saying. He doesn't give a shit. I just don't, what I'm saying is I don't get how you can say things like, but I know he loves me. And I in his way, sure. I get that, right? But you're dismissing, you say, well, when you say you feel his love, like, because you know he loves you, but like, do you really feel it? Like, because to me, when I feel loved because someone is willing to like go out of the way and listen to me and make me feel heard and maybe sometimes make sacrifices. It's certainly as much as I'm willing to make for them.
Yeah.
So I know you're in a tough spot, but something needs to change. Because you're going to lose your mind, and this is only going to get worse if it doesn't get better. Yeah. You're not going to feel more loved or less lonely. You're going to find it somewhere else.
I know, but I don't know if like threatening for divorce is like the best way to, like, it hasn't worked out for me in the past. So like, I don't, and obviously if that's not how I feel.
Have you literally pleaded with him? Like, listen, how does it like, and he just doesn't care?
No, it's just led to massive arguments. And then like, there's been times where he's given in and said, okay, fine, I won't go anymore. F it. Just, I'll stay home and be home with you and we'll twiddle our thumbs together. But that lasts for like 2 nights.
I don't know. It's just, like, listen, my gut tells me that you guys aren't as compatible as you want to be. And I'm
well aware that we're not. I'm not going to lie. Like, we're not compatible. And we like,
yeah,
but it's not like divorce is just not an option for me. Unless it was something.
I want to give you a hug. I feel for you because it feels like you've committed to prison. And my gut tells me that will eventually change. You're a human being with feelings, and this is frustrating, and you're trying to do the right thing for you and your kids and your family, but you are only human, and you can only take so much. And if he is unwilling to compromise on something so drastic and not bend on something that he quite frankly needs to, and throws temper tantrums and makes you feel bad about having to give up and wanting to spend any time with you, you're going to have a breaking point. You just haven't reached it yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
So knowing that, I guess what I'm saying is, that's why I go back to what I originally said. Put it back on the table. That doesn't mean like you go and find a divorce lawyer, but you're just like, you're not saying it as a threat. You're saying it as a plea. And you're just like, listen, maybe we're not compatible. I deserve to want to be with someone who wants to be with me. You seem so against it. And anytime you do it, you make it sound like it's a chore, or you're only doing it because I'm nagging the shit out of you. Like, why would I? Like, that's not fair. I don't want to have drunk sex with you. I want to feel like you want to like hang out with me and we have like a moment and we like go on a romantic date and it's not forced. And like, and I don't want to feel like you constantly wish you were playing like, you know, beer pong or darts. And if like he just doesn't want to grow up, I mean, this, you know,
Yeah.
I just think if you consider the possibility that he might not be your person, it will give you more, it'll make you feel more powerful. And it'll make you a little less scared about the possibility of this ending. And maybe he'll wake up.
I don't know. I hope you're right.
It's scary. I get it. But you're a human being and every human being has a breaking point. I'd rather have you face this now than in 5 years when you can't. I would rather have you deal with this properly than you cheat on him because you're just so unhappy and so unfulfilled with the affection he doesn't give you. Because you're a human being and you deserve, like, you deserve it. Everyone does. That's just insane. Every night?
Yep.
No. I just think you should consider the possibility that I think everyone should. I think everyone, I've said this before, I get the death to do you part, but we should stop giving our partners excuses to take us for granted. And every day, two people who say they're in love should constantly want to earn the love that they want to receive and give to the person they say they're in love with every day for the rest of your lives. And then you'll have your highs and low moments. But every day, people should want to earn that love from someone else. And it's not just because you made a promise 4 or 5 years ago or 20 years ago. And it's not every day you choose to be with someone. And if that person stops giving that love that you're willing to give to them, then they're not holding up their end of the deal. And you have the right to expect that from someone.
All right. Well, I guess time for another conversation.
You deserve a lot more, and I think you should just believe that and never let him make you feel like you're asking for too much. And he has the right to have insane requests for his own happiness, but that's you don't have to give him it. So
got it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Best of luck.
Thanks.
All
Take
right.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
Olivia. I'm 29.
Hi, Olivia. How can I help?
So, my question for you, my husband and I have been married for a few years. He comes from a pretty religious upbringing background. He was super sexually inexperienced before we met, and I was totally fine with that. We're both okay with each other's dating history, but I thought, like, my previous relationships, I was super experimental sexually, and I feel like that was what I liked. And I was under the impression, like, I was in toxic relationships before. This guy is like my best friend. He's super good to me. And the only thing missing in the relationship is just like that like sexual spark. And I know that sounds terrible, but
I mean,
yeah, it's been a few years, and I was like, we can only go up from here, but no matter what I suggest, it kind of doesn't get taken care of.
So you've tried to communicate with him things that you would like to happen in the bedroom, and how does he react?
At first he would get super uncomfortable. And now, like, I've done all sorts of research and, just like trying to figure out what I can do. I've asked him if he doesn't watch porn. I asked him if he could start watching porn when I'm out of town, just to explore like more of what he's into. But every time I ask him like what he wants, it's just like, whatever you're doing is fine. Like, I like it all, like, but you don't like it all because you're scared to try new things. So.
Gotcha. What are we talking here? Like, describe what you would like and what he's not willing to do. I'm just curious, like, is this, who knows? Maybe it's extreme and you don't think it is, or maybe it's super vanilla. I'm just kind of trying to get a baseline here.
No, So I had us, good question. I had us actually take one of those like BDSM tests online. That's like super, what was that?
What's a BDSM test?
Oh, it's just like, it's like if you don't know what your fantasies or your like sexual needs are, you're pretty like any end of the spectrum. You haven't tried out anything. It's figuring out what you might be into based on like little things that you might like in like more of a vanilla sexual experience.
That's
so
cool, actually.
I had him take that, and it was like our results could not be more opposite. His were exactly what I was picturing, and it was just like, like monogamist and loves like just he could have like one partner forever. I didn't necessarily think that was going to be the case for me, but I love him and I'm trying to be a good wife.
So the thing, I'm just curious, because the thing that you pointed out that your biggest difference is that he only wants to be with one person you might not want to be. How does that relate to the bedroom?
I guess that wouldn't be like the main thing. It would, like, for me, it's just like minimal. I need just like minimal effort to try to see like I'm totally happy to go at his own pace, but it's been like not trying anything new. And if it, it's like.
So, I mean, it sounds like your sexual relationship with your husband, it's extraordinarily vanilla. There's no real foreplay or even connection. It's just more mechanical.
Yeah, it's like when it happens, and this is like the most infrequent I've ever, like, since I started having sex, this is the most infrequent that it's ever been. And I know people say that that's how it usually gets when you get married, but it wasn't like that in the beginning. And I feel like anytime I try to incorporate new things, it's like off the table real quick.
What is your sexual fantasy? Like, what do you want? Like, regardless if it's your husband.
I mean, I just feel...
What would have... listen, I can only assume that you've fantasized about this, not getting what you want sexually from your husband. So,
yeah.
What is it?
I mean, it's like the dangerous like places that my mind will go and just thinking
not
like...
even dangerous. Like what? Just if it's a safe space.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, like right now, I feel in my email, I kind of had said to Chrissy that like my mind is going to my like sex with my ex. It was incredible. I would never bring that up, could never like compare it out loud. It's just like in my mind going back to these are things that I know might have been like it was a toxic relationship, but
okay,
like,
but I'm less worried about the person.
Yeah.
I get that. Forget about the ex or who it was.
Yeah.
I'm talking about when you're alone and you're if you're masturbating or doing your thing, what is your sexual fantasy? Like, what are you envisioning, whether it's a mystery person or your husband? What are you guys doing in bed? Like, what's the fantasy?
Like, ultimately, a threesome?
Like, what would you want to walk home and your husband surprise you, and what happens in the bedroom? Like, what does that look like? What does that sound like?
I mean, ultimately, if I came home and he was with another girl, that is not something that would freak me out. That's something I would be like stoked on. And that is just so not on the table. And I don't know if it will ever be.
Okay. Well, that's helpful, because I guess what I'm saying is I'm curious, like, okay, so that's the extreme. Thanks for sharing. And no judgment. I can picture how that can be hot, but it's also not that I don't think your husband is unique in his not interest in that, right? And so that's what I'm trying to get at is, you have the right to be, into this stuff. There's a lot of people who are, and more people who talk about it, be like, actually, I don't want to feel judged, but I'm kind of like into this. And you're like, me too, like. But there's also a lot more people who are not, right? And so I'm just wondering. If this is like, does that make sense? Like, this is not something like, if your husband, like, it's one thing if you're married to someone or dating someone, they're just like, listen, like, I'm not interested in giving you oral sex, and I'm not interested in hearing your needs, and I don't care if you like dirty talk, and I'm just, I'm just gonna give a couple pumps and we'll be done, and okay, that's not someone who's interested in paying attention to your needs and listening. But like, at some point, you're just like, listen, I don't want to fuck another person. I don't want to bring another person in the bedroom. I don't want you to punch me in the face, or, whatever. Like, again, so there's some things, and again, there's no judgment, but some people have a right to like not be in some like very non-traditional things in the bedroom. So
I don't want to be hit in the face.
I know. I'm just saying, like, but there are people who are into some crazy ass shit, like.
Yeah, no, I guess I didn't realize I don't really have a religious upbringing at all, and my friends don't either. So
I don't think a religious upbringing, quite frankly, has anything to do with. It doesn't sound like it has much to do with this situation. I don't think there are people who had a religious upbringing who are into some crazy shit.
Yeah, that's
and there are people who
fair.
I don't think that really has anything to do with it in this situation. And again, I'm just wondering how much of what your fantasies that you feel are not being satisfied are really just not traditional. And again, no judgment, but like, your husband may never come around, and that's okay at his part as well. If he's just like, I'm not into that, like, I'm never going to be. And I don't think, there's a, right? Like, anything that he can, that makes him feel safe and comfortable, dirty talk, a little, grabbing, pulling of the hair, or whatever, oral sex, giving and taking. That's all. Like, you should want, like, I think everyone should be willing to do a little bit, right? Or a lot in that,
No, I agree.
There are limits to, like, people have a right to just say, like, I'm not into that, and there's a sexual
100%.
compatibility that you have to consider with your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what's frustrating for me is that I feel like I'm very, like, I've been vocal since we first met about the things that I need out of a relationship and then out of a sexual relationship. And I feel like he was more than willing to, like, I don't know if it was just because he was trying to, like, just like make me happy and say things that it's like, I will try, I will do anything. Like, I will do anything once kind of thing. And that is absolutely not the case. And it was more like, once we get married, like, I can dip my toes into whatever you would like. And maybe I just like took that too literal. I'm like, okay, these are things that I would like. And he's like, no. Like, those are not going to work.
It just kind of depends on what that is, right? Like, what's your middle ground? I mean, I guess now that, is there a middle ground for you?
So
Like,
Yeah,
are you? I mean, I don't know.
like-
Are you literally saying like, listen, I want to have a threesome with my husband. I want to have a fantasy where I want to watch him have sex with another girl. I want him to watch me have sex with another guy. Are those your fantasies that you need to be fulfilled, or not?
I don't think so. I think that can it's like we have porn for that. Like, I'll be okay. I can manage. I don't need that. I think that it's very fair. I think that that's probably asking a lot from anyone who's not comfortable with that. But yeah, I think we're like the middle ground, and mostly what I need advice with is just like, so the biggest thing is that I don't finish nearly every time. It doesn't happen, and it doesn't seem like that is a huge priority to him. And I don't know, like I said, inexperienced before me. I don't know if he ever got someone off previous to me.
Okay.
And it took a lot of like,
yeah, well, that's something that you can work with, and that's something that is like you can talk through, right? Because whether you're married, right? You guys should be able to communicate about this stuff. I mean, couples who are dating should be able to communicate. You know, people don't have to get off every time they have sex, but there should be an interest in your partner to want to make that happen for you, right?
100%.
And maybe it's not penetrative sex or whatever, but like you should be able to go to your partner and say, these are the things that like, and I'd like you to want to do this for me so I can orgasm, and vice versa. And if he's saying no to those things, and those things that he's saying no to are things that he himself can do that are relatively, you know,
easy
normal
enough
things, you know, that, you know, everyone's safe, so to speak, that it doesn't incorporate new people. He should want to do that. Yeah. And if he's saying no, or not even showing an interest, or not even asking, and not even like caring if you had an orgasm. Yeah. Have you ever said to him, hey, I'm not like, I haven't gotten off. Could you help me? Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to do this for me because Nick, it turns me on.
Yeah, Nick, I have no problem telling him. I give him lots of feedback. And
what does he say?
Like, it's usually just like, he's willing to try, but I think he thinks like, you know, a minuscule amount of time is enough. And it's like you got to keep working at that. It needs to be longer. You'll know when we're ready for the next thing. And
so he's just not all that interested in getting you off.
I mean, it feels like that to me, but I feel like I am just maybe being a little bit sensitive.
I don't know. And again, this is, I always kind of hate these where I'm just like, well, this is what I would do, and I'm a guy, and but like, I've never been in a relationship where I haven't given a shit about how, like, it's from an ego standpoint, I want my partner to be like, that was fun. I enjoyed it. I don't assume they're all the same. I don't assume I have it all figured out. And so I ask, and I'm like, what, like, you know, and I check in. And to me, that feels like a no-brainer, but it doesn't seem like, you know, that's not the case. We continue to learn.
I agree. I feel like I check in.
But he should want to. Like, every husband should want to. It's like, it's no different than, what would you want for your birthday? Like, that's like normal things that you like. If you're in a relationship, what makes you happy? How could I surprise you? You know, like, what do you like to watch? What gets you off? Like, you should want to do those things. If you're going to be in a relationship with someone, you know, and commit to a monogamous relationship, and then expect someone to give up dating anyone else in the entire world, you should want to go out of your way to make them happy. And not just in the bedroom, like for everything. Like, why else would someone want to give up everyone else in the world to be with you if you're not willing to do the things that make them happy?
That is what I'm saying, Nick. And it's like, I love him. It's endearing. It's very adorable, but it's like, I don't want like adorable sex. That's not what I want.
You want him to take charge and demonstrate confidence that he cares about you getting off, and he's willing to do whatever you want, and he wants you to sit back and relax and enjoy the ride. You know?
Yeah.
I want that as a t-shirt. I don't want adorable sex.
Who does?
So good.
God.
Yeah.
Wait, is that a like it
Maybe
sounds
some people
that in
do.
itself sounds creepy. Adorable sex.
Yeah, but that's
I don't
what
think
she
I've
wants.
ever wanted adorable sex.
Yeah,
ever.
but it explains exactly what she wants. She
no,
doesn't
I
want
get it.
adorable
But
sex.
like it's ugh.
So good.
Yeah. No, right? You say it and you're like cringe, but maybe
Yeah.
there's people out there who would absolutely love and appreciate that. And I'm not like,
Well, there's
nobody can
just
have
a bit
him.
of a
He's mine,
disconnect
so.
between what you're saying, and what you're saying is, I love my husband. He's so communicative, and he listens, and he's kind, and blah. So, doesn't sound like he is, though, because if he is, even if you're not necessarily the most sexual person, and it sounds like you've had sex, and when you first met, you were having more sex than you're having now. So this is not like you're dating an asexual person. I don't think it is. It's funny because like when we first started talking, I think it's a big ask for you to ever hope or expect him to like bring in another person in the bedroom. It's not a big ask for your partner to just want to get you off, and it's not that hard, especially in a marriage.
I feel like the evolution of this conversation, it's like the evolution of our conversation just in this amount of time is the evolution of my husband and I conversations since the get-go. It's like a little bit like expecting a little bit less and a little bit less. And like, I feel like taking things off the table that maybe I thought were important to me that just aren't enough, like at the end of the day.
Well,
but then,
so that's the thing. Maybe my advice, right, is control what control what you can control. Like before you freak him out with new people and fuzzy handcuffs and things that he may never be comfortable with. What you just want, and it's fair to expect, is like him to want to get you off, to him to like be focused solely on you, to make you a priority in the bedroom, and to not make you feel stressed out about wanting to get off, and to just have that mindset of like taking charge and doing like this. Tonight's all about you, babe. And you do those things.
I would be completely content with him like initiating and taking charge. And just like, let me not have to work so hard and say so many things.
I don't know if it's like couples therapy or sex therapy, but like, as much as you say you're communicating, you're definitely not on the same page, right? It seems like maybe there's some.
I agree.
You're not connecting. You guys are misunderstanding. You're stressing each other out. I still go back to like, it shouldn't be that hard for him to want to get you off and take the time to do that. And as long as like you're able to get off by him doing whatever you ask him to do within reason, that's fine.
No, I agree.
But like him trying, if he's feeling like he just can't like do some crazy shit that you had done to you or something, I don't know. But you just got to kind of get on the same page. But he should want to do it. I don't know.
I agree. I think a sex therapist would be great.
All right. Give it a shot.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
But try not to get on each other's nerves. It sounds like there's some hope here at least.
Well,
I don't.
There is absolutely, this is like a minor blimp. We will be 100% fine. I'm a very patient person and he's worth it. So.
All right. Well, best of luck.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
How's it going?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Good. What's your name?
I'm Lauren. I'm 21.
Hi, Lauren. How can I help?
Okay. This is kind of a long story. I don't even really know where to start. I guess I'll try to like make it pretty brief at first, and then you can just ask questions.
Great.
So, basically, I met this guy like 2-ish years ago, like my freshman year of college, and we kind of like immediately hit it off, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to date him, blah blah blah. He was already friends with one of my best friends, so like that was a thing. And then we like kind of dated, like went on a few dates, and then I changed my mind because I am, I don't know, crazy. Like basically every time we would go on a date, I would just like dread it, and I felt like he was being kind of fake. Like just he's not a super open person, so it just kind of scared me because I'm pretty like direct right from the beginning, if that makes sense. So I kind of like friend zoned him, I don't know, in if you want to use those words. Like, I was just like, oh, I think we'd be better off as friends. And so we became friends, and we got really close over the next like year or so, like to the point where we were like best friends. And like my best friends are also his best friends. It's like a group of like 4 of us that are like really close. And that was a thing for like a year. And then around last, like I want to say November, like literally like a year ago, basically, we became friends with benefits because I'm just an idiot. I don't know. Okay. I just thought it would be fun. So that happened. And then that developed into a relationship because we were already best friends, and then we were having sex. So it was basically already a relationship. So we kind of just made the decision to make it a relationship. I mean, we both already had feelings for each other anyway, so like it made sense.
Okay. And all the things that you didn't like in the beginning, you were saying his fakeness or whatever,
yes.
Did that all get better?
Oh, yeah, change? Definitely.
Great. All right. So now you're best friends and now you're having sex.
Yes. So then we dated for like 6 months-ish.
Okay.
And then I broke up with him in like June, I think. Yeah. For different reasons from why I friend zoned him the first time. And I told him that I still wanted to be friends and that like I value our friendship so much. And he got really pissed and was like, absolutely not. Like, I'm never being friends with you again. We're never going to talk again. You're never going to see or hear from me again. And I was like, oof, that really sucks. But like, whatever you need to do to heal. Then like a month, well, we didn't really talk that much over the summer, but I forgot like a really major part of this. So me, him, and one of my other best friends had already signed a lease to live together like a year ago, like before we even started dating. We signed a lease to live together this year. So now we're like currently living together.
You signed a lease a year in advance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That alone seems silly, but okay.
That's how the college kids are doing it these days, man.
Gotcha. All right.
So yeah, now we moved in together. Like I thought he was going to get out of the lease, but then he didn't because he kind of like forgave me and was like, oh, like maybe we should stay friends. So then we moved in together in August with our other best friend, and like it was great. And then we kind of went back to exactly where we were right before we started dating. So we kind of were hooking up again.
Sure.
And best friends. So then I was like, oh, we should just get back together. And he was like, yeah, no. Like, basically his reasoning was like, I don't want to get hurt again because I'm very indecisive and can be non-committal, but I feel like things have changed. Like I've grown and I feel like he's grown, and the problems that existed when we broke up don't exist anymore.
Like what?
Like I felt like we didn't understand each other very well. And I also, like I said,
wait. So are you thinking for him? Did he say that, or you broke up with him? Like
no, I broke up with him because I felt like we didn't understand each other.
Well, yeah, but you can't think for him.
That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, I think it's not that I think that I was wrong to break up with him, but like I think that some of the reasons were kind of immature, and like
that you think you were immature.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think my way of thinking was very much like, oh, the grass is always greener on the other side kind of thing. So I was like very scared of staying in that relationship when I felt that there could be something better out there for me, like a better match.
Maybe there is. And also the fact that, part of it is proximity. You're living together. You got yourself in a bad situation, bad environment. Quite frankly, I don't know how you're making these like it's so hard for you to make these decisions with a clear mind, because he lives there and you're seeing him, and it becomes such a power like you guys are like rubbing it in each other's faces whenever you're showing independence or disinterest in one another. Like you live together, so like when he's home and when he's not home, and when he's not home, who is he with, et cetera, et cetera. Such an easy way to get jealous or insecure or to like someone for all the wrong reasons. I don't know if you do or not, but I think the important thing is
like the fact that we live together. I don't.
It sucks. But I guess I don't know what your exact question is, but fine that you put yourself out there and you wanted to get back together, but it's also fine and maybe the right thing that he was like, nah. And you just have to deal with that.
Well, then I guess that's my question is like, how do I get over that frustration? Because it feels very frustrating that I felt like it's my fault.
Yeah, but it wasn't. You broke up. And that was your decision. And if he really wanted to be with you, he'd be with you. Like, he would get over it. He lives with you. You know, don't let him or don't let yourself put that burden on you. You broke up. Yes. Like, you broke up with him, but he's still living with you. You still have hooked up since. Like, he has gotten over it. And if his reasons for not getting back together with you are true, in the sense that he just doesn't trust your flippantness about, which you don't even know aren't true. You aren't sure. And so give it time. Don't demand answers from him, because that would play into my insecurity with you if I were him. Well, I want this right now and you don't want it, but that makes me want it more. Be mature. Maturity would be like, okay, I respect your decision. Let's still be close. Let's still spend time together, but I have to maturely respect the distance and space that you ask for. And things will happen be mature about it. Take things slow. Don't do things out of spite, and don't start rubbing it in his face that you're dating other men or whatever. You're going to have to build trust, and that comes with time and sincerity and not doing things to get a reaction.
Okay.
So if you really want to get back, say that again.
I feel like I have been working on doing
yes, but that's not for you to decide. You don't get to work on it for a month or 2 months and be like, you know what? I've changed. Maybe he clearly hasn't seen it to the point where he feels comfortable enough.
Okay, that's fair.
And this is not about one thing, right?
Yeah.
And you don't, like, when you're doing things to prove to someone else, this reads as insincere. I'm only doing it because I want you to do what I want. He needs to see when you're not trying to get back together with him, in a sense. And so live your life. He has chosen he doesn't want to get back together. You respect that. And if you want, you should date. You should do your thing. And it should just be about trusting each other. Your living situation is not ideal, right? That sucks. Yeah. I don't know. I guess maybe there's nothing you guys can do about it. I mean, there definitely is something you can do about it. He can leave or you can leave. It's super inconvenient. I get that. But like you guys are choosing not to do something about it. Fine.
Yeah.
But, for you, I think the big thing is, you say you've grown up and you say you've gotten more mature, maybe a little bit, but it sounds like maybe you could use some more, and that is just being patient and not demanding that people respond to you whenever you're ready,
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I would say patience is not one of my strong suits.
Yeah, and that's okay. But it seems like you're willing to recognize that. It seems like you're taking feedback. You're asking these questions. Like, a lot of people don't do that, so you can give yourself some credit there.
I'm doing my best.
But I think you need to showing him that you respect his decision is a great way to make someone feel like they can trust you, and that you're mature enough and you're not irrational. If he thinks that you are irrational, if he thinks that he can't trust, he doesn't trust your own ability to know what you want. Right?
Yeah.
That's a scary proposition.
Yeah.
Well, I believe that you want me now, but we both know that you don't know how you'll feel in a month, kind of thing. Yeah. I've been in those types of relationships before. It sucks. You're just like, ugh. You want what you can't have, and I think you need to really, maybe just be single for a while and casually date and really just kind of focus on yourself and
Okay. I mean, that makes sense. So do you think that is it fine to be dating right now, even though
he doesn't want to be with you? Again, it's just a subtlety in how you go about it, Yeah. You respect his decision. Fine. Take some time. Be private about your dating life.
Yeah.
Because you don't want him to think you're rubbing it in his face.
Right.
Respect the boundaries that you've had a relationship and it's super awkward and this is not an ideal situation. So as far as he is concerned, be private about your dating life.
Okay.
Because you have the right to date. He doesn't want to be with you. But just don't be rubbing it in his face. Don't be playing games. Don't you know what I'm saying? Don't be don't be bringing guys over just because it's going to piss him off.
Yeah.
Little shit like that. That's just going to create more of a toxic animosity between the two of you. But yeah, date. Go on dating apps. Go on dates.
Okay.
If he starts, who are you going out with? Just be like, well, and then be mature. Listen, I like you. Do you really want to know? And just have mature conversations about the situation you guys find yourselves in. Don't say things to be mean. Don't react. Don't do things out of spite. Don't do things to get them jealous. Just try to have a sincere conversation with someone that you say you care as a person. Okay. And that's hard to do, but your first thing when you do don't do whatever your first reaction is to, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
When you get mad, take a moment, think how should I react? What would I after I calm down? Don't respond with your initial feelings.
That's good advice. I feel like I'm usually such a logical person, and this is taking all the logic out of me.
Yeah, because you feel about it. You have a strong feelings, and no matter how logical you are, things can work you up, and that you're human. That's the human side of it. And you've gotten yourself in a not great environment. You shouldn't be living with this guy. Yeah. And if you want to choose to fine. I mean, my first recommendation would be to one of you guys move out. And you guys could do it.
I knew that was going to
super. It's super inconvenient, but you can do it. You guys are choosing to not do something about it. But that being said, if you guys are going to continue to live with each other, then you just really have to go out of your way to make the most of a situation. Quite frankly, even if you wanted to get back together, I would say you guys should just be friends until you guys don't live together anymore.
Yeah.
And then in the future, stop making decisions that don't make any sense. Don't move in with someone you are friends with benefits with, or have ever had a history with.
With benefits at the time, I really didn't think I was ever going to date him again. I promise.
Yeah, but he was someone you had dated. Don't ever do that. Don't ever move in with someone that you've ever seen naked. That's rule of thumb.
Okay.
Unless you're in a relationship with, and you know the stakes of the relationship.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
But yeah, do the best you can with what you have.
Okay. So be patient, keep trying to mature on my own, be respectful of his decision, and don't move in with people that I've dated.
Yeah. I mean, he probably still likes you. He just doesn't trust you. And, maybe rightfully so. It doesn't sound like you have it all figured out yet about yourself. And that's totally okay, But just be okay with that. You have some, growing. I mean, hell, I have growing up to do. So it's not a big deal that at 21 in college, you still have some maturing and growing up to do and getting to know yourself.
Yeah.
It's okay. Be patient with yourself about that.
Okay.
So, all right.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right. Have a good day. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Well, what an episode.
I know. We had some good ones in there today.
I want, she just needs to be willing to leave her husband. What a dick. Stop going to the bar every day.
Well, that was the big theme of this episode was kind of he's really nice, but.
Well, that's a lot. Because, we said the other episode of, stop making these promises to other people and to ourselves about our tolerance for bad behavior.
Yeah.
I mean, be willing to work on things with your partner, but they got to be willing to work on it with you too. And if they are not willing to if they're not willing to, if their solution to your problems is deal with it.
Yeah, it's not a solution.
That's
the overall.
That's the time to consider. An alternative.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling in. Send in your questions at asknick@castmedia.com, cast with a K. Don't forget that we have our breakup books.
New merch.
Just because you're sad doesn't mean you're special.
That's true.
these are books are meant for you to give to your friends and to yourself. And then when you're sad, you only put things in this book. You only write what you're frustrated about with the person you're trying to get over. The person you're sad about, you don't write what you miss. You just write, he never listened to me. He always went to the bars every night. He cheated on someone, made me feel bad about it.
He didn't want to help me out with what I like in the bedroom.
Yeah. The whole book. And then when you miss them, you open up this book and be like, oh my God, what a fucking dick.
It's the Why He Sucks book.
Yeah. It's a breakup book.
It's a breakup book.
Just give it to your friends.
Yeah.
You got to focus on what you can control. It's not love, it's toxic stimulation. All these little fun little...
Yeah.
Find it out on our website, viallfiles.com. Till next time. Oh, we'll see you probably in a couple hours or tomorrow for a Bachelor recap or something.
Yeah, sounds good.
Don't forget to subscribe, rate us 5 stars. We love you. Talk to you later.